Alright, here are the top 5 movies we've seen a million times and never need to see again, in no particular order. Number 1. This is the film we know as the romantic comedy or the chick flick. This is a film where a girl meets a guy, they fall in love. These movies always have the exact same plot. Oh, you want to see the new chick flick? Let me guess. A guy meets a girl and they hate each other. But then they start to become friends. They start to like each other. They fall in love. But not before, at the end of the second act, right when the film's about 3/4 over, something happens, somebody screws it up, and now they hate each other. It's not going to work out. They're not going to get together. And then bam, miraculously, they get back together and live happily ever after. We've never seen that movie before, have we? They always have the same people starring in these films, too. I think the casting director of a chick flick, they just have 2 dartboards up in their office, and they just have pictures of people on each dartboard. The first dartboard will have Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, Reese Witherspoon, and Meg Ryan. Then they just throw a dart at the dartboard, and whatever picture it hits, that's who they're going to get to star in it. Then they got the dartboard for the male lead, too, and the male dartboard has pictures of Matthew McConaughey, Hugh Grant, and a blank spot. And if the dart hits the blank spot, they get a hot male model to fill in the role. Some guy that can't act for shit, but it doesn't matter because his whole purpose is to serve for eye candy for all the women in the audience. And number 2. This is the guy dressed up as a woman. And all those Tyler Perry Madea films, or Medea, however you pronounce it. Those fucking things we've seen a million times. How many of those films do they have now? They'll be at the big board meeting. Like, hey, let's get a guy and we'll dress him up like a girl. It'll be hilarious. You get the joke because he's a guy, but he's dressed like a girl. But he's really a guy and he's not really a girl, but he's dressed up in a dress. And it'll be so funny. Right? Here's a concept. If a movie isn't funny without a guy in a dress, it's not funny with a guy in a dress. That's like taking the worst fucking script you've ever made in your entire life and say, oh, it's okay, we'll put a funny hat on the main character. That'll save the whole film. Morons. Number 3, vampire films. These things just keep churning out and out and out. Okay, first of all, any vampire film is 75% plagiarism already. Like, everything you know about vampires is already written out for you. Like, somebody else created vampires. Somebody else made all the rules for the vampires. You got the garlic. You got the wooden spike. You got the sucking of the blood. All that already for you. And then you write a vampire flick. That's like if I were to make a film about Wookiees. You know, like Chewbacca from Star Wars. No, my film isn't Star Wars. And it's not about Chewbacca. It's just a movie about Wookiees. I wrote my own movie about Wookiees. It's all me. I wrote it. I created it. You can do that, right? Can somebody please explain to me when vampires became sexy? When I was a kid, vampires were monsters, and they were scary, and they were terrifying, and you were supposed to run away from them. Now every woman I know wants to date one. Why can't you be sensitive like Count Vampiro? I'm going to write a film where a girl falls in love with a creature from the Black Lagoon. Number 4. Terrible sports team wins the big game. I think I did this before in an earlier rant, but whatever. Let me guess, is it about a baseball team that's terrible, and it's a bunch of kids or a bunch of adults that are no good at their team? They're in absolute last place and they suck. Then some guy has to coach them. He hates the whole team. He hates the sports. He hates life. He's just this angry, pissed off guy, kind of like me, but he has to do this whole team thing, and they all suck, but then they start to get better, and bam, right at the end of the second act, they find some dude out in the middle of the woods that doesn't want to play, but he's really, really good, so they put him on the team and then they win the big game. No, my script is different. Mine's about a football team. Same shit. And last but not least, here's the number 5 in movies we've seen a million times and never need to see again. This one I call Tough Guy Babysits Kids. Matter of fact, I think I went off on this rant before. You know what? Screw it. If movies can just rip off other movies, I'm going to rip off myself. I'm going to let my old rant take care of this one. Vin Diesel also made that film The Pacifier. Protecting those kids is a matter of national security. So then Ice Cube makes the exact same movie called Are We There Yet? It's me watching 2 kids! I could just see the Hollywood meeting where they were putting that one together. I got it! Let's make a film where a tough guy has to babysit a bunch of kids, but he doesn't know anything about kids, so he has all kinds of trouble and hilarity ensues. That's another film we've seen 1,000 times that the Hollywood shit machine just keeps cranking out. You know, tough guy babysits kids. It'll be hilarious. Stop making that fucking movie! Hey, that guy's pretty good. He seems to have his finger on the pulse of Hollywood. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube page and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. If you're watching this on YouTube, the links are below. And if you like the video, share it with all your friends and help get the word out. Thanks a lot. See you next week.